I love that, Queso. You're scheduled for 6:30, but you can go live. Oh, good. You mean I can do what I want? Damn it. Hang on. Let's move this back. Oh, there we go. All right. So let's go. All right. Let's go to comments. We have no comments yet. We're about 5 minutes early, and that's okay. We want to make sure everything was tested and patented, but what do you think, buddy? We good? All right. Let's get rid of an example banner. Let's get rid of the current banner. There we go. All right, so I guess we're going to hang out for a little bit here. We got about 5 minutes. Let's see, we got to take this piece of paper, put it over here. These go over there. So I guess we're going to wait. No, we are not going to do that. You had your moment. All right, let's see who comes on in. We're a little early. All right. This waiting thing is kind of silly, isn't it? That's all right. Movie by over here. Let's keep watching more on the news of the world we need to know. Oh. Oh, yeah, he sees another dog out there. However, that dog is an Irish Wolfhound, and he thinks he's going to take it. Leave it. No, you leave her alone. You just leave her alone. Over here again. You believe that you guys heard him bark for the first time? Isn't that cool? When you guys listen to the replay, you'll hear that. All right. So let's see who's going to come in. Whoa. Get it. Get it. You realize that dog is 25 times your weight, right? You're aware of that, right? Hang on. Let's adjust that. We can't adjust the looks, but we can adjust the camera angle, right? There you go. Let's see if anybody's showing up. We are 2 minutes early. But we wanted to make sure it was tested and patent. That's right. Yes. So we are going to wait for 6:30 before we tell you about what happened today. I'm just going to start crossing stuff off the list I had while we are waiting for someone to show up. Making sure I can retune this list. That's done. No. We got that. What else did we not get? Not that. Not that. Not that. We did get that. We didn't get that. We didn't get that. We did get that. No, we didn't go there. Not bad. We didn't do bad today. All right, so let's just wait. Let's see who comes in. You look good, Big. Look at that. You look good. I'm wearing my podcast hat, not the hat I wore out in the world today, but that's all right. There you go. Look at that. Look at you. Just look at you. It's 6:30. That says right there. Good evening. It is Tuesday, May 30th, 2023. It is 6:30 p.m. in my locale Eastern Time. it's time to start our podcast to see if anybody will show up. So let's go to the beginning of the day. What did we do? We woke up. We only got up twice last night, right? About 11, then about 2. Both the boys needed to use the comfort station, and that's all good and groovy. And then at 4:30, we got up and moving, and that was fantastic because what do you say? I didn't see dirt. I didn't smell flowers. I didn't see candles. It's not a funeral. Let's get up and get moving, right? There you go. So, let's see. Coffee, per usual, and getting stuff together. We took care of some stuff around here, so had to secure everything because we were going to town. And what else did we do? I mean, it was an easy setup. We had already taken care of the sewer hose yesterday. Water hose had to come off, power had to come off, move the plants, and then we just had to pull the slide in and we were gone. Easy ride through the Everglades, easy everything. Okay. Let's see, what else did we do? First of all, we got to make sure that this is, nope, we're not going to the layout. We're not doing private chat. Broadcast information, no. What's going on? Yeah, we're live. All right. We just need to make sure we were live. Nobody's here yet. So what else did we do? Where's the first place we went? We went to Sunset Country and Western store because I was looking for a different hat than the one I have. They didn't have it. I'd been there before. There's another place called Nora's, and there's another feed store a little further down. But we didn't go to Nora's today. We swung around back to the Walmart neighborhood, which was right across the street from the secret Chinese grocery. I know where it is. So we went there. Okay. Hello, Linda. I see you're hiding. That's fine. So we went to the Chinese grocery store and we got everything we needed there, except for 2 things. One of them that they didn't have, one I forgot. Then we went to the Walmart neighborhood, which is much better than the more violent and ugly. Oh, there's Linda is not first. Linda is 0. She did find me offline. You are first. So then we went to the Walmart neighborhood and got that stuff. And then we ran over to Aldi. And we got a couple things. Then we had to run to, I'm sorry, we didn't go to Aldi. We went to Bravo. We got some small things we needed there. And we finished that up. And then we drove across the Home Depot parking lot. And then we went to the Walmart to get the 3 things we needed over there that they weren't in the neighborhood store. Then ran over to the Aldi and then went to the Walgreens and got the few things we needed. Got gas, which was no fun. I went to go to the place I usually get gas, but for some reason they couldn't function. Half the pumps were out of service, and the ones I wanted to use, people were sitting there and scratching their heads on how to use a gas pump. So I did what you would do in any other third world country. I went down the road to the next place, where I then had to deal with another batch of problems for living in a third world country. Got the gas, and then we headed back home, right? We unpacked, took out the garbage. We've got the beef jerky marinating. Packed away all the cold stuff, got rid of the tougher stuff, and now we are spent about 40 minutes just, taking our shoes off, moving plants around, watering plants, and now we're here. So what are we doing, guys? There's only 2 people here. I don't count Queso. He's always here. So what are we doing, girls? This may become very short if we do not have audience participation. and it's not even worth taking you outside. Um, Sky's kind of bluish grayish. Sun's on that side, west, and the bay is just kind of bluish grayish because it's between high and low tide. So it's not very attractive, not a lot of animals. It's just kind of, so that's the way it goes. So what are we talking about? I'm gonna have to make this up on my own. Let's see. Uh, I did do my video this morning. I got some good comments. I did get a miss. I thought somebody was quoting James Joyce, and he was quoting Alfred Lord Tennyson, both of which I don't like. James Joyce, in order to read Ulysses, I had to have two shots before I even got started because it's just a mess. I don't know why people think he was an artist. He was just a mess. He was a mess with a typewriter. That's all he was. Alfred Lord Tennyson, other than he did some Arturian stuff, which was kind of pretty, but I really much more appreciate E.B. White on that one, or even going back to the original text, But yeah, yeah. This fellow, nice fellow. I hope he shows up. Seems to be very hooked on the fact that I'm hooked on a fact, and I don't know why. I have not figured that out yet. You two don't seem to be hooked up on it. I think you guys get it, so it's perfectly fine. Um, Went outside. What else I do? Always migration. Who's missing this time of year? You get monarchs. Yes, we do have a couple of monarchs. I haven't seen them yet. Migration now is black vultures are leaving. Ospreys are almost gone. White pelicans are on the move. We have cardinals that have moved in. I see summer tanagers now that I didn't see before. Um, the tricolor heron don't leave, but they're starting to leave their mating season. So their beaks, the males change their color, their beaks and their eyes. Starting to see more crocodile stuff. Sadly, pythons are now in their mating season, so that's not a great thing. What else is migrating right about now? I can say we've had the return of our tropical orb weavers. If you like spiders the size of my thumb, hey, well, then we've got something for you. Um, I've seen a couple more black turtles than usual, which is normal about this time of year because as we're moving into the wet season, we're starting to get more pockets of fresh water. So that would make sense that they are there. Haven't seen a lot of pygmy rattlers, but I hear they're near the campground, so they're a little farther from me in the brush. Did not see a crocodile today, but then again, I only went to the bay twice. Twice. Once in the morning, like usual, and once about 5:30, like the usual. That's how I said it's just greenish gray. There's nothing exciting going on. But monarchs, yeah, I'm seeing them. Mosquitoes are moving in. The yellow flies are here. Oh, they are not fun at all. If you don't know what a yellow fly is, don't look it up because it's basically what happens when horse flies get crazy and angry. They're really, really bad. Some people are affected. Two of my captains, they get bitten all the time. I don't. Okay, they land on me, they don't bite me. Same reason mosquitoes land on me and they don't bite me. I'm supposed to have the right blood type that they would want, but my blood type is essentially now contaminated, Chianti, and cynicism. So there's really nothing for an insect or anything that sucks blood to want to get out of this. Next question, please. I was Googling tricolor tangers. Not sure about that. Tricolor herons, yes. My favorite bird here. I love them. I think they're just absolutely adorable. And one of them flies next to the boat, screaming and yelling. I think that's fun. There is a summer tanager here, and it's a smaller red bird. It almost looks like a cardinal if you don't catch it fast. But the American cardinals are here, male and female. We got a couple right here. There's an ilex tree, which is kind of a holly type tree that they've kind of taken residence in. So they're kind of fun to see. Where I lived before, I did have a family of cardinals that lived there. The male used to fly directly into my big window in my kitchen all the time. The female always just sat in the forsythia a little bit past that. So, of course, because I had to name them, I named them Edgar and Joan after Joan Rivers and Edgar Rivers. If you know what happened to Edgar Rivers, it would make a lot of sense why you watch him constantly flying directly into the windows. I have a rather dark sense of humor. I did see a brown pelican today. Does that help? I don't think it helps. If it also helps, I saw Muscovy ducks today. If you don't know what that is, go look that up. That is an ugly little critter, but they were walking around between the Bravo supermarket and the dollar store where I had parked in. So they're just an ugly, ugly duck. You are very chill. It's cool to see pelicans. You know what? I would have to say that's a yes, Linda. When they had the Bayside tour, it's no longer going on. We would see white pelicans and brown pelicans. Oftentimes, white pelicans way up high in the sky. They would fly in a thing called a squadron. The brown pelicans were always on the water, or mainly they were perched in the trees on one of the keys. In this particular case, it was Frank Key. As we approached on the right side, they were always perched up there, and of course, at least once a day, somebody would go, "Why are the leaves white?" Well, I would say, "Oh, poop." Not a very graceful bird and not a very clean bird. At least the osprey, when they do their magic, those things projectile out away from the nest, which means you got to stand back and away. All right, come on, Nancy. You're too quiet for me. You never call, you never write, I never get a casserole. Come on, Nancy, what do you want? There's our friend Mark H. Howdy, how are you? As you missed from earlier, I did have to go to the Western store today. I could not find what I wanted at a particular Western store, which means I've got to go to the other one, but I'm not going to town for another month. So fortunately, it's not very critical or important. Kid couldn't do boots today. I was looking at that, but yeah, I was like, something told me not to do that today. But I did go to the Western store. I'd been there before. You know, takes a little bit to get there. It's right off of Route One North. I'm not sure if it's Naraja or it's Homestead. Somewhere between the two. Um, but not easy to find from the road. You have to kind of get down the road, loop around. But it's a good Western store and a good feed store. There's another one in Homestead I have to check out as well, but they don't have apparel. It's just basically feed. And let's face it, he's not anything besides crushed chicken. So, but next month we'll try the other place. Let's see. Pelican catching a ride behind my passenger side mirror of my van on the long bridge to the Keys. Van mirrors used to be bigger. Yes, they did, and my mirrors are real big. I'm not sure where you were in the Keys. The last time I saw pelicans, and I mean aggressive pelicans, was I was past Tavernier, and I was taken to a place called Robbie's, and you guys can look it up. Great place on the Florida Bay. Good music. cheap beer, great food. I sat out on the an open room on the Florida Bay, Jimmy Buffett style, and enjoyed that. Now I went around the corner, and what happened was you could pay $5 and get a bucket of fish, and then you walked out on the dock. You walk out on that dock on the Florida Bay, you could feed tarpon by hand. Tarpon's a damn big fish, but the pelicans there are aggressive. They are, and I think I've said this before, your ex-wife on Pinot Grigio, very angry with your credit card and wants to make a point. They will steal the buckets. They will attack you. They are aggressive. So fun, but I also watch a lot of people get nipped, lose their buckets of fish, run from the pelicans, and no, it was fun. All right, well, Mark, it looks like you're the new kid in the room. What do you need? Fishermen know that pelicans mean fish are in the area. True. There are a lot of fish right outside the show, right outside the mangrove areas of Frank Key. That I will tell you. The bird that I've been taught that means sea fish, you see bird means fish, is something called a magnificent frigate. Okay. This bird never really touches the ground ever. It looks like a pterodactyl. It is really a weird thing. You saw flamingos in the Keys, said Linda. That's great. I mean, last time I saw flamingos, believe it or not, I went to the front gate of the Miami Zoo. And they're there all in front. You didn't even have to get out of your car. Here in Flamingo, there are no flamingos. None. Zero. People say they see them every so often, but usually they're considered to be roseate spoonbills. But there are no flamingos in Flamingo. And I get to tell that nice story on the boat, I would say at least once every other day. So I've never seen a flamingo in Flamingo, except for Marina Store, aisle 2, left-hand side. And you can pick up a stuffed flamingo if you must have it. Are you a flamingo? Okay, so we've kind of hit a stall here, guys. I mean, I already spoke about what my whole day looked like. It was basically the thing I hate the most. It beyond go into the twisted, warped third world society we live in. It was get in the car, drive somewhere, stop, get a few things, get in the car, stop, get a few things. Drives me absolutely bonkers. I hate it. I don't mind going to the grocery store. There was a time I loved the grocery store because I got inspired and it was easy. I was taking care of a whole bunch of people and I enjoyed that moment, but I always went early. I didn't mind going to the hardware store because I was working on a project or doing something necessary, even if it was planting. But I hate, hate 427 side trips of 3 things apiece. Absolutely hate it. I like the surf cast. Nice. 19-pound red drum on a 15 test line. That makes a lot of sense. I go fishing here in the Florida Bay, so I can't call that surf casting. I'm gonna put my fingers up, surf casting, because you're just at the bay side. But I have pulled red drum out. I've pulled snook out. I've pulled salt cowfish out. I've pulled baby black shark out. And I use about 15, 20 test non-braided line. But yeah, I'm an animal. So, but I don't eat fish. I just basically catch them, throw them back in the water. That's the end of that. We have a lot of people that like to they cast net here. They seem to enjoy that a lot. That looks like a skill I don't know, but I watch them do it, and they seem to enjoy it. It's just not my thing. But I go fishing about once every other week or so, maybe more, maybe less. Usually on my day off, middle of the day when nobody's looking, just to be left alone. He's sleeping. I just go do it. But yeah, man, a red drum is a good fish. And we don't know where. Hey, there's fairy dust. Hello, dear. And we don't know where you live, Mark. But if you've ever seen a sheephead, there's a people absolutely go whackers over this fish because they say it's delicious. But they're a weird looking fish. So there is one that I've mentioned before that it's about I don't know 14 inches long maybe, and he hangs around on one of the docks on the Florida Bay side, and he is so close to the surface that if I laid down on my belly, I could pull him out of the water animal style. And I was told by the Park Service not to do that, but I'm going to have to wait for the park ranger not to be around. And I'm probably going to do that. Let's see. Did you guys have any questions about anything you've ever wanted to know about the National Park Service? Have you ever been arrested by the Park Service, Keisha? His answer is no. Can they arrest you? Yes, they can. We do have one of the rangers here that every time I see her, I just simply turn around, put my hands on the boat, and I go, all right, I have the right to remain silent. I have this. And this has to be case. Well, what else would it be? I put my hands on the boat and I just go, I have the right to remain silent. Anything I say used against me, la la la, be easy with the cuffs. And she laughs. And then I go, your drill is done for the day? She's like, yeah, pretty much. I was like, okay, cool. Hang on, I want to see if I can put that up. This has to be kid. Who else would it be? Who are you? What is your name? Red snapper in Louisiana is good. So I've heard. Never caught one, Mark. Have I caught a mangrove snapper down here? Sure have. People go gaga over that fish. I don't understand why, but they seem to just lose their minds over it. I don't eat fish. I will catch them. I will clean them. I will, I'll even cook them, but I'm just not eating them. Can I get a snort, buddy? He listens a lot like me, which is not much. Can we get some snorties? Sorry, he's not in the mood. He's not feeling it. Are you feeling it, buddy? That's all right. Well, I hope all of you have eaten dinner. I am probably going to have leftovers. I have to look through what I've got because I'm taking most of my leftovers and starting to portion them out for lunch for the next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at least. No way I was eating fish from the Wangpu River. Very polluted. Sounds like eating fish out of the Delaware River. Oh, yeah, I would not do that either. Well, yes, he looks the other way. Watch. I love you. I love you. He doesn't really look in one direction or the other. Because if I pick him up, just kind of stares into space. Because if I hold him like this, I love you. I would always love you. See, nothing happens. What he's doing is he's listening to things outside. We do. Oh, we had a yawn. We do have a neighbor right over there, and again, the neighbor is where the husky is, and I'm sure his ears are sharp. There's your snort. Did Queso have dinner yet? No. He had a late breakfast, about 7:45, and then he had a little snack around 2:30 ish in the passenger seat. There's your snort. So neither of us have eaten. Oh, there it is. Neither of us have eaten yet. But there's that snort. That shouldn't stop us from hanging out with everybody. And I'm also got meat on the counter. It is marinating, and I'm trying to determine whether I want to leave it overnight or I want to cut it up and cook it tonight and put it into the dehydrator. I'm just trying to figure that out. What are you doing? We have two Chewinis, Chihuahua Dachshund mix, and 100 all three are rescues. Hey, Mark, guess what? He is the last of my rescues. I do have two other dogs if I can ever go home. One is a Basenji and Lab mix, and that's my Miss Taylor. And thank you. And the other one is a Jack Russell mix, that's Lucy. Queso, if you did not realize, is the last of the first. Thank you. Thank you. First batch of my rescues. He is a Chihuini. He is half teacup Chihuahua. He is half miniature dachshund. He is 4.9 pounds and approximately 16 years of age. I have never bought a dog. All of them were shelters and rescues, which is why I have fostered and which is why I have adopted, and I am a big adopt don't shop guy. And he used to push my 80-pound husky into the corner. He thinks he is a big dog, and we're not going to disabuse him of that at all. Thank you for rescuing animals. I appreciate that very much. He can blink, I can blink. There you go. Now we got it in sync. We're working it out. All right. What's our next thing you want to know about? Do you? I'll open up the floor. Is there something you wanted to know about the cities of Florida City, Homestead, or Naraja? Joini's is Koenig, German for king, since he thinks he is. Hey, Mark, guess what Carrie's last name is? You need to get out of the small corner of my brain pan that I haven't cleaned for drainage. Guess what Carrie's last name is? Oh, really? Want to guess? She pronounces it with an O instead of an A, but since I'm accidentally overeducated and I can speak High West Saxon, I understand the O is K. Jones. How about Koenig? It were, yeah, son of a, I'm gonna reach through there. I'm gonna get that guy. As I'm looking at her picture right now, stop that. Stop that. We weren't supposed to say her full name because we wanted to keep her kind of under that thing, you know. It's almost like when they when older people like me, when they talk about a problem with somebody, they go, she has, and they whisper, Alzheimer's, right? They never can say it out loud. When we, well, so she was supposed to stay very. You just needed to know her first name. You didn't need to know her last name. So now the cat's out of the bag, and you can't catch a wet cat. So there you go. Too late. Oh well. Let's leave that nice lady alone. She's in some severe suffering mode. So let's be nice to her. Bless her heart, as we say in this. No, 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 no. Take a big drink of that. You would not, and I'll say it over and over again, you would not yell at a spouse that has Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or Bell's palsy or any other disease or disorder that is they are unable to control. You know, you can't do that in my estimation. You can't do that. You know, she's ill. Last time I caught COVID, you need to politely fairy dust move off of that subject because if you get me talking about that, you are going to get a highly intelligent scientist who is going to crush everything you've learned on CNN, MSNBC, WABC, whatever it is. Have you visited the? So get off that subject because you're going to set my PTSD off. I'm not going to let anybody do that today. Have you visited the Homestead Air Force Base? Yes. Have I visited the Royal Palm Nike Missile Base? Yes. That's cool. Have I seen planes coming out of that? Yes. The other day we saw on the boat a C-130 flying below what's called the green deck. Okay. The green deck is. Hang on, Mark. Now we're into this conversation. The green deck is a level above all of the Florida Everglades, not just the Everglades National Park, the Everglades. That's a 50 by 150-mile plot of land that all commercial aircraft cannot fly below 2,000 feet. So if I see a C-130 flying low enough that I can read their tail numbers, something's weird. I've been seeing more F-16s in the last 3 or 4 months than I had in the previous 10 months. So something is a little amiss. Something is a little awry. Can't put my finger on it, but if you're flying below the green deck, you gotta have a real good reason. And they are strict. Okay. The only time I see an airplane flying below the green deck, it usually is white and orange, which means it's Coast Guard. There are National Park Service planes, but they are white and brown. So, they tell you to use something called situational awareness. Hey, Georgianne, how are you, dear? They tell you to use situational awareness. And when you start seeing things that are both you're told is wrong and you're seeing them more often, you should pay more attention. They are, it is a little weird. Okay. Uh, Homestead Air Force Base, however, is the way that the person who founded the park, President Harry Truman, got home. That's how the story goes. Is he was flown into Homestead Air Reserve Base. He then was driven to Everglades City. That's almost 2 hours away. He gave a speech at 10 a.m., 10 to 11. Somebody had some coffee. And yeah, my neighbor's bringing our dog out. And then they put him back in the car, drove him back to Homestead. They had lunch. They put him back on an airplane and flew him back to Washington. We had no idea that Georgianne had a hyphenated name. Or isn't that exciting? I had a hyphenated name for a while, remember? We had to get rid of it. A lot of Osprey. Osprey, the plane everybody hates. Sea Stallion helicopters, not bad. F-18s, I see those. F-60. 22 is in this area. Don't know where you are, but that would make a whole lot of sense. I did live near, or about 35 miles from Fort Dix. And I used to see Chinooks and weird planes all the time, but I knew the path they were on. They were following I-295. They were training missions because you can't get lost. They were using the road as a guide. You didn't have a hyphenated name, did you? I'm checking. He says no. Southeastern North Carolina. Interesting. Okay. I've been in North Carolina a number of times. Each time I go, I have a worse experience than the time I went before. When I was evacuating to the end of the world, I can tell you that I was so concerned about moving through North Carolina that I must have driven 65 miles an hour, and I drove straight through. I did not stop, not for gas, not to pee, not to, because I was like, the last 3 times I've been here are the worst times I've been here. Between I went to a small town there, then I went to Fort Bragg, then there was I was just like, I'm gonna get out of the state. It hates me. South Carolina, not so bad. Roads are crappy. People are nice. There are some states you just can't deal with. Everybody's probably got one. That's fine. I moved here from Connecticut. My wife from Maryland. Connecticut. I'm too far gone. My wife from Maryland. I have been to Maryland. I've been to the Chesapeake Bay. I drove a boat there. I went to Baltimore Harbor. Yeah. Went to the aquarium. Went to the Christopher Columbus statue and had a beautiful meal with a girl who was then my fiance before she cheated on me. And um, I've been to a place called Salisbury. I know, and I've been to a place called Hebron, where I was. That was a very crazy woman that I. Woof. Um, Not an easy time in life, but a very crazy woman had a second house there. So maybe someday when the whole story comes out, you'll enjoy that. Oh, you went to the Mayberry Campground meetup and you love it. Hey, man, this is why there is chocolate and vanilla ice cream. I'm more afraid if I go to North Carolina to a meetup, I'm going to blow a dually. The engine's going to blow up. The dumbest person I ever met was at a Hardee's. Um, at 5:30 in the morning near Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The word muffin blew this guy's mind. I mean, dumbest guy I've ever met. Since you are from Jersey, you can use the pronoun use. Untrue. I am from the place in New Jersey where it looks like Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania said it can't be us. We have enough land that looks like this. And then they looked at the rest of New Jersey and they went, this doesn't look like us. You can't have it. It was an isolated small area, a very country town, 2 stoplights, 1.1 square miles. It was very, very small. However, Mark, since I did work in the beautiful parts of New Jersey, Camden, Newark, Gloucester City, Piscataway, New Brunswick, Hoboken, the beautiful places with the great West Orange, the beautiful places with the pretty people who are, they're sitting there on iron, they're sitting on stone pillars and they're just sitting there and they're contemplating their lives. No, they're a group of people suffering epigenetic stress, demographic shift, and they're shooting each other. Okay. And I got to work in there cleaning up toxic waste and spilled materials in the middle of the night. Yay me. Hardee's as Carl Jr.'s. Never been to a Carl Jr.'s fair desk. When we first moved here, they would only make burgers well done. That's what they said. They said equal eye disease. Don't understand that. But Hey, like I said, the only thing I can say about North Carolina that brings me to a smile is the roads. The roads are beautiful. They're banked. They're well done. They are a pleasure to drive on. And then, as Queso and I determined, they are a pleasure to drive on to get the heck out of there. Oh, E. coli. Everybody loves E. coli. See, that's right. If you cook them well done, you may not like the food, but the liability is gone. An obsession with safety leads to a path of tyranny. New Jersey, enjoy the casino. Ka-ching. You must have been to Atlantic City, another one of the beautiful places in New Jersey. Yeah, where I came from was very pretty, but it was a trap. You moved up there, and you got farm fresh tomatoes and all the good stuff He's seen Kaya out the window. You went there, and guess what? There was one road in, there was one road out to the interstate. It took you an hour plus to go anywhere to work, unless you owned your own business or you were a farmer. It's a trap. River Edge, New Jersey. Do you mean Riverside or River Edge? Arizona has the worst roads. Take your word on that, Georgian. But Michigan was the worst, says Fairy Dust. All right. All right, that's it. That's a conversation. What state has the worst road you've ever traveled in? Just throw them up there because I'm going to say South Carolina. Bergen County. Oh, oh, God. You poor thing. Bergen County. I used to work in Essex County, near Hackensack, another one of the beautiful places. Friendly people, good food. Give me your wallet, motherfucker. Beautiful places, great people, lovely culture. Yeah, I'm so glad to be out of there. I will say that I was less nervous about walking through Philadelphia at 6:30 in the morning than I was walking through Newark at noon. Linda says Michigan is the worst roads. Okay. That should be we should do a video series on it. The things I have seen. Yeah, it should be there in November. Listen, South Carolina is really nice. I mean, it's a pretty place. The people are very, very nice. Uh, but the roads are just poo poo. They're just bad. And I don't even hold South Carolina to any grudge. And that's where I blew my inner dually. And I was stuck in South Carolina for 2 days. And I still don't hold a grudge. Louisiana has awful roads. Haven't been. Hope to go and take a look for myself. Thank you, Mark. Philly was good to me. Brotherly love. I used to work on 20th and Market Street in Philadelphia for 7 years. I went to school across from Philadelphia. I'd been there multiple times. I loved taking my daughter to the Liberty Bell, Independence Hall. She was all, oh, I saw this in National Treasure, blah, blah, blah. She had a great time. I took Kerry to one of the most beautiful restaurants and highest end restaurants in Philadelphia on Front Street. It's called Panorama. And because I wanted to treat her, and that was some heavy coin. And she used to love to go to Reading Terminal Market with me and the kids uh, because she could always get something good. We might go to Molly McGuire's. She could go over here. Then she might wander over, look at some craft thing, but then she could always get ice cream, and she always loved the ice cream. And so that was her thing. But she understands fine food in a way that you and I do not. So for her, I think that was kind of like fun slumming. I'm not sure. She enjoys a cheesesteak like anybody else. Chicky and Pete's. She enjoyed that, and she will. I know. I said Chicky and Pete. I know. I said Chicky and Pete. She enjoys occasionally Five Guys, but that's only like half a hammer. But you know what? That's there you go. Myrtle Beach is known as the Redneck Riviera. Well, I would say that's very cool, and I would invite you to come on down here. I got lucky in Atlantic City. I am not going to ask any further questions with it. Thank you for sharing. Lowe's. I don't understand that, but that's all right. Let's see, Linda. Yeah, we are not wading into that pool. Linda, I don't know what you mean by it, but please, with all politeness, shut that door. It is a private event. Whether it be your bank account or it be anything else, just politely shut the door. In Florida, the further north you go, the further south you get. This I can give you a yes. If you are in Northwest Florida, you are definitely moving in that direction. However, where I am, the nearest town is called Florida City and Homestead. It's separated by a road called Chrome Avenue. Um, this is not redneck. This is it's inner city, for lack of better terms. It's inner city. It is. I am when I go there. I am either Indiana Jones or Tarzan. I don't know which it is. You make the call. I got lucky in a parking lot in Atlantic City. Linda, I'm gonna shut this door for you. No more. No more for you. We're not doing that. Private life is private for a reason, Linda. Oh my, Linda. Oh, Nancy. Don't encourage her to open that door. Don't do it. Don't make me have to put him down. He's still innocent. Even though he can kill people with a gaze, he is still innocent. The bubble room on Captiva is fun. I have never heard of that. Never heard of the bubble room. Never heard of Captiva. We live in a cave, so that would make a lot of sense. But again, yes, I've been to all of those beautiful places in New Jersey and got to work there, and actually worked for the largest university in New Jersey, and have been in all of the most beautiful places in the middle of the night there. Captiva Island north of you. Thank you, Mark. Tell him, Queso. Where I am, everything is north of us. We are in the part of Florida that is the furthest point in Florida that is not an island or a key. So everything is north of us. Okay, everything. It takes us an hour to get to the point that we can start going toward the Keys. We're way out there. Are you way out there? You're way out there. Praise the Lord parking. Not a surprise. What was the name? Damn it. Man, time runs differently in your world than mine. guy who was the mayor of Atlantic City, the bald guy with the bow tie. I don't remember. How is your weather there? It was about 88 degrees today, sunny, a little humid. Right now, look out the window, partially cloudy. I keep seeing alerts. Hang on. They're expecting rain today and tomorrow. I learned that Atlantic City streets are named after the Monopoly game, and it blew my mind crazy good. Um, I have been to Atlantic City, and one of the things I learned was most of the streets in Atlantic City are named "You'll get a parking ticket" or "Give me your money, mother." Demographics and epigenetic stress, and then a lot of money thrown in on the top. So that's what's going to happen. I've only ever been to a casino. Well, I went to a casino in Atlantic City, but it was very young, and it's a very long story. But I ended up there, but then I left, but I didn't lose any money. I've also been to the Parks Casino. I think gone twice. Um, banging my wallet on the ground for the most beautiful woman in the world so she could see. I remember Bruce Hornsby, and but was it Eddie Money that I took her to see there? I know I took her to see Eddie Money, but I'm not sure it was there. Might have been somewhere else. I can't remember. But yeah, those are the only casinos I've ever been to. I agree with that statement. Federal law states I can never hold a deck of cards ever again. I know. You don't have to remind me. How this evolved into a talk about crappy places in New Jersey. We could talk about the good places in New Jersey, but nobody knows where they are. And I would have to, you know, open up and expose some secrets there. But I'll never go back again. So, I mean, my most favorite places in the world in New Jersey are the Lakota Wolf Preserve and the Brook Hollow Winery, both in Knowlton, New Jersey. Queso seems to have long nails. Well, not really. He had them trimmed a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. His nails grow crazy fast. So, but he doesn't like to have them trimmed. So what I do is I'll do one paw and give him a treat, and then maybe the next day do another paw, give him another treat, and then maybe do another paw. So we're working on the back nails right now. But about every 2 weeks we start the cycle. It takes about 4 days, 5 days to get him all the way worked through because he doesn't like to have his feet touched. I can touch him, right? But the minute I get the clippers out, forget it. He does not like it. But this dog sheds all the time, but the hair is really small, and his nails do grow incredibly rapidly, probably because I don't walk him on pavement. And the reason I don't walk him on pavement here is because it's hot and he'll burn his pads. Do you cut them or grind them? I cut them. I use this tool right here. I tried grinding them. I had bought a grinder for him and my missing girls, Lucy and Taylor, but none of them liked them. And it was, I think, the sound. I even tried a Dremel. I don't think they like the sound. So what I've got to do is sneak up on him when he's quiet and go clip of it and give him a piece of ham, a piece of chicken. He's never been to the Wolf Preserve, by the way. Not allowed to bring your pets to Camp Taylor or the Wolf Preserve. Just can't bring them up the hill. Very sad because one of my good friends who runs that wolf, he and his wife run that wolf preserve, and I can never go back again, which was bad. Yeah, watch. Yeah, watch. Look, watch. Look. You. I'm gonna get. Here they go. Look, he let me do one. All right. Nancy Drew, yep. No, Nancy, there's no crying here. We don't cry. Maybe someday we'll all converge on Camp Taylor and we'll do that again. But that's when we're going to have to be careful because we're traveling from a third world country. And by that point in time, New York, New Jersey, and most of Connecticut, I'm going to say Rhode Island are going to be fourth world countries. So we got to be careful if we ever decide to play that game. They'd be happy to see us, but that might become, you know, checkpoints and show me your medical papers, which automatically gets me to turn 180 degrees and drive away. Because, no. Remember what I said earlier. There are days I wake up and I go, it's nice to have a couple of neighbors around. Then I wake up a couple times, at least once a night, and I just go, oh my God, there's too many people here. I got to get out. There's just too many people here. I got to get out. And by next week, total number of people here between the National Park Service and my company is going to be about 30. And I'm going, oh my God, too many people. I got to get out. Going to have some dinner and a glass of cab. Have a good night, everyone. Goodbye, Mark. Thank you for stopping by. Hope to see more excellent comments from you. Very thought provoking and very, very interesting. It's good to have another thinker in the room, and I'm happy when you bring me new dimensions of thought. Thank you. Get out. Oh, don't throw them out, fairy dust. That's no fun. Me, I'm not still gonna. Once you guys are done, I'm probably gonna cook. I don't know if I'm gonna have leftovers or I'll cook. I don't know how I feel. I'll probably take the stuff for the beef jerky and just throw it in the fridge and let it marinate overnight. I can always slice it and cook it tomorrow morning. And before I leave for work, I can always put it in the dryer and just let it go all day. And we thank Mark for showing up. Very smart. He made an incredibly smart level of comments on my video, and I appreciate that. You know, I like when somebody shoves me around, in an intellectual way, because to me that means, I get to think. And let's face it, I'm in a place where I probably have two people here that are over. I'm going to say just um, I'm going to say they got an IQ above 100. So that's really tough. You know, that's why I spend so much time with all of you, because when I am here, it might be naturally beautiful, but it is intellectual starvation. And as you can tell, Queso is not good at debating philosophy or science or mathematics. Well, it is almost 7:30. Ugh, come here. And we may have kept you guys a couple of minutes too long. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna really get crazy. Any, we'll play the game. Ask me anything. Ask me anything you want. Thank you. Anything you want to know. Thank you. Um, you know, pull the gloves off. Just go, because we got about 3 minutes left. I don't think they want to know anything. What do you think? What do you want to do? They're not ready for the whole story. We're not going to do that today. That's fine. What? No, she's not outside. You have to remember where he's looking in this direction. Ford or Chevy? I would say before 2014, I'd say Dodge. Um, I do currently own a Ford Triton V10 6.8 liter. So it's a 10-cylinder beast. I would have preferred a Chevy, but I got the Ford. Right now, I'm not having a real problem with it. So I'll say Ford 2015 seems to be a good thing to do. Not my perfect car, not my dream car, but Carrie Ellen is a great girl. So Jeep. Nancy, I love you. That's right. My dream car is a 1973 VW thing. I want an international orange. I want the doors to come off. I want the windshield to fold down. I want the entire roof to fold back. I want the AM radio, black seats, lap belts, and to make the little weird putt putt sound. Honda. Good call. Miss Carrie is in love with Honda. She has had 4 CRVs. Four. A little side story. Uh, I worked for a company that had a like a discount program if you worked for the company where you could go into an Audi dealership, show them a piece of paper, and they would take the MSRP on the glass, take 5% off it, no haggle, no anything. Got it. It's yours. Buy it, lease it. They didn't care. But piece of paper, 5% off MSRP, no markup, no nothing. And I talked to Miss Carey and said, "You deserve a fine vehicle and you want an SUV. Let me get you a Q5." No, she wanted a CRV. Talk about a sucker trying to get her a high end piece of equipment when she can't clean her car and her kid makes a mess out of it. And oh god, we're not going to go there today. Never mind. Boxers or briefs? Um, I'm a Duluth trading boxer guy. So you love your CRV. Hey, a lot of people do. A lot of people love their CRV. I used to drive hers, and I just didn't like it. And I used to drive it to get it washed, or I'd clean it, and just never a comfortable ride for me. The other one I did not like. I was friends with a young lady way years ago. She drove a Jeep Liberty. I didn't like that either. Ketchup or mustard? I don't know. What are we putting this on? I'll say ketchup and mustard on a cheeseburger. Queso's not a condiment guy. He can't help you. But yeah, second. Sorry about the air conditioning. Second runner up to my dream car is a 1968 Land Rover. Some people love their CRVs. I don't get it. And this thing's pretty good, so I have no problems with it. All right, ketchup or mustard? How about I'll answer your question, Linda? Ketchup on hamburgers, mustard on hamburger. Ketchup and mustard, unless it's a chili dog on a hot dog. Mustard on kielbasa, but only hot mustard. Thank you. And I don't like mayo. How's that? 1953 Ford truck. Yeah, that'll do. I would. What's your favorite type of music? God. I guess it depends on what I'm doing. If I am just trying to work around the house, like when I had a house, classical was my big thing. I would just let that run in the background, except for uh, no, queso is a dip. He's not a condiment. Uh, except for Sunday mornings where my brother and I would listen to Steely Dan, which is also what I like. So I'm kind of when I listen to rock and roll, 60s, 70s, not a lot of 80s. Miss Carey is the 80s chick, not in the 90s. In the 90s, I kind of got the whole concept of I'm sad, wah wah. I'm sad, wah wah. Well, nobody cares if you're sad. Call your therapist, and but put the goddamn guitar down. We're done with you. So that's all I can say. Uh, so yeah, it depends. I love the when I'm cooking. Classical is great. Occasionally I would always leave music on for the dogs, right? Sometimes it would be classical. Sometimes it might be smooth jazz. When I lived in a house and I had a TV, I treated it like a radio. Sometimes it would be some kind of new agey stuff, just if I wanted them to drift out and do whatever. But really, it was when they weren't home. Thank you. Steely Dan classical. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to feel old now. I appreciate that. Thank you. I was thinking more Mahler and the Wagner, Vivaldi's spring and autumn. I absolutely love. Summer is just kind of yeah, but I love spring and autumn. I don't know what music Bernet is playing, but all right. If other than Steely Dan is awesome. Steely Dan is great. Um, what else do I like from that era? Um, hang on, hang on. Alan Parsons. Alan Parsons is good to groove. If you're doing, some heavy cooking, Alan Parsons is good. ELO is also great to cook too. But remember, I don't have a house anymore. We're not going to be able to go there again. Are you a December? Oh, Farida, so close. No, I am a January. My second ex-wife was December 29th. I am January. Miss Carrie is January. Her daughter is January. Sadly, my sister, uh, the she who shall not be named, is also a January. My daughter is May. Her birthday just passed, and but I have not spoken to her in 8 years. So I'm sure she enjoyed it. I hear it through weird grapevines before I left your society that she was going to get married, and I'm sure I'm going to be spoken of poorly and awfully for the rest of my days. So that's fine. That's right. You want to get down? You want to get down? Come here. Get some water. Come here. Hang on. Ooh, he's in my shirt. There we go. All right. So we are going an hour and 14. Any other questions? I'll give it. I'm not going to waste everybody's time. I'll give it. Y'all can get one more question in. Go ahead. Thank you. Are you in December? I'm gonna put that up, man. That is great. I love that. Are you in December? No, I am not in December. I'm a Capricorn. We don't believe in that astrology crap. All right. I don't believe in astrology, so I said December versus a sign. You missed the joke. I'm a Capricorn. You don't believe in that astrology crap. But no, I am not December. My second ex-wife was December. She was Capricorn like me, which meant we worked very well together. We could probably tear mountains down together, but everything else, even though she was my high school sweetheart, not so good. She had a horrendous spending problem. So. Good girl, smart girl, majors in mathematics, but very sadly, she was a public school teacher, which, not so hot. She's probably retired by now. She's not some superintendent somewhere in the state of New Jersey, ruining education for multiple people for money. But I'm sure she's doing a good job at it. Good for her. All right, I've made a decision. I'm looking at the clock. We're going to cut this off at 7:45. Any other questions? Because it's a wide open field. You guys are beating me up today. I love it. Now we've only got 3 watchers. All right, well, they're dropping like flies now. Are you digging? Go ahead. I'll let you in. Come here. I love you. There you go. Good night, Carl. Fun, Carl. Stay safe. All right. Listen, you don't say stay safe to a 27-year veteran of environmental health and safety. It's behavior-based safety. You keep you safe. But I will see you tomorrow. All right. So obviously you guys are dropping like hen's teeth. So I'm just going to drop out myself. You guys were a lot of fun. Thank you for those who showed up. Any of you watching the replay? Do you have any comments or anything else? Please put them down there. You want to talk about something different? Put it down there. If you want me to do this more often, let me know. Other than that, I guess Queso and I are just going to wrap it up because tomorrow I got to go to work. Oh boy. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for your time, your good questions, and we had a lot of fun and laughter. You may have learned something about me you hated. You may have learned something you liked. You may have learned nothing at all. But I'm happy to see you guys. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you all tomorrow morning. And we push the orange end button